Let's go yin.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So today is my first Yin Yoga video that I'm going to be offering. Today's class is going to be on ease and letting go. We're going to work on our lower body as well as our upper body for 4 shapes. We're going to hold each shape for about 4 minutes, and it's going to be about a 20-minute session. Thank you so much for listening, and let's start by just sitting. Remember that Yin Yoga is a moderate, meditative and non-muscular practice. So we really learn to stay and learn perseverance and patience through this form of yoga. And today, let's begin with having one foot either in front of the other or on top, whichever is fine. And we're just going to start with sending our palms up towards the sky, getting into a comfortable posture, closing your eyes, inhaling, exhaling out. Inhaling, exhaling. And inhaling the energy in this through the space that you're in into your body. Exhaling it out and letting go. Bowing your head, bringing your hands together in gratitude. Pranam. Okay. Cool. So the first shape that we'll start with today is a simple butterfly. For that, you can bring both your feet together, the soles of your feet. Now your feet can be quite ahead of you or towards your pelvis. Anything is fine. It's a very inclusive practice, so work with the range that works for you today. Um, the target area for you is your inner groin muscle, and we're hitting the tendon over here. We work on the colder tissues in this practice a lot. This is my 12-minute hourglass. I'm going to turn it, and I know about when it's 4 minutes, so I'll let you know. But just being here at a range that works for you. Today you may want a little bit lesser or a little bit more depending on how your day has been, how your day is looking, where you are in your emotional bandwidth. And really grounding through your inner groin, through your legs, on your mat, on the surface of the earth, above the mantle, crust, layers and layers of earth. And I'm going to read from Tao Te Ching, which is one of my favorite books, and chapter number 1. Yin Yoga is based on the Chinese philosophy system of Taoism, and that's what this book refers to. The Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. Free from desire, you realize the mystery. Caught in desire, you see only the manifestations. And each time I read this poetry, it changes for me, and I really like the interpretations it brings. So this line of caught in desire, you see only the manifestations. I feel we desire so many things and we want for things to happen a certain way, and we constantly kind of project what we want through because of our desires, and then we keep manifesting not just positively but also like in terms of hoping in a way that doesn't work for us. So just to be careful of when we're caught in the cycle of desire, and to really know that we can let that go now and just watch as life happens and yield into it, to allow it to happen rather than controlling. I really like these little leaves around me so I can play with them. Maybe you're at your home, but it might be fun to do this in your nearby park as well. That's nearly 3 minutes. And enjoying the silence. I hope you get to see the squirrels that I can see. There's so many trees and birds and wind and sun. It's just perfect today. I can hear a worm nearby. It's a or like an insect. Okay, and slowly releasing and coming out of it. Taking your time. This is the rebound time. Sending your feet forward and wrist. You can send your hands at the back. Look up, rest, see what's going on. You can flex and point your toes. Really be slow with your body right now. The rebound time or the rest time is the most important time because that's when you realize what's going on. And often we don't take this pause in our life to stay, to relax, to rest and kind of study what just happened. Also, it's anatomically a good time for your tendons, ligaments to de-stress. The next shape that we will be doing today is called shoelace, and there are various versions of it. So we'll do the right knee on top of the left knee first. And when you bend forward, you will be able to feel it in your right glute. That's the target area. So this is one way of doing it. The second way is to have the right knee on top of the left leg and bend over, and you'll still feel it. If this also doesn't work for you, you can have the right foot forward and bend over. How much ever you need to feel it. You can be quite lower, you can be quite here, as long as you feel it in your right glute. And the fourth way is to leave it forward, and you'll still feel it. So imagine the amount of variety that can make us meet our target. And think of that in life as well. There's so many ways to achieve the same thing, and there is no one way. Cool. And there's a squirrel over there looking at the camera person. Okay. Cool. So I'm going to do it this way. You choose your pose. And we'll do this for about 2 to 3 minutes before we switch over to the other side. Next time I should bring Winnie the Pooh along. The author of Winnie the Pooh was a Taoist himself, and that's why Pooh also has these stories. I have this really amazing book called The Tao of Pooh with me, which I often read from. And it reminds me, because I'm also into academics and education and making difficult words sometimes because it's needed to conceptualize, but also like to ridicule all of that and be like, how can we keep it super simple? How can we keep it easy and breezy, just like the wind here right now? Because Winnie the Pooh always found his way as well. No matter what the challenge was, he figured it out without thinking so much. So yeah, that's my one bit. And we're just gonna stay here. Well done. It's a very different practice, so thank you for trying. Thank you for being with me and lending yourself to this practice. There was a really cute squirrel that just crossed. I got completely distracted. What a pleasure. I feel we really don't use our parks enough. And if we have access to them, then we should. Forest bathing is really real. Okay, and come. Let's switch. Since this is just like a beginner intro class, I'm not staying for too long in any of the shapes. Whew. Unravel. Rest in any way of your choice, any way you like. Often I feel this, a lot of this, not just in my target areas, but also in my extremities, in my ankles, in my toes, in my fingers. I feel like cracking everything when I'm in my rebound time. I don't know how it is for you, because it's also nice that we're all so different. A lot of sound over here, so I'm gonna stay quiet for a moment. Left knee on the right knee, or left over the right, or broken open, whichever works for you. I'm gonna do this one this way. Yeah, so I was talking about difference. Difference is invited. It's not just accepted, it's invited. That's how life should be as well, no? We should invite different kinds of people in. We should be open to different choices of life, ways of life, tastes. And I feel a lot of exposure, a lot of acceptance, kindness does that to us. But I'd love to know what you think as well. Let me know. Totally open to conversations. Always love them. So Yin Yoga also invites differences by making so many variations available for each shape. And notice it's not called a pose, it's called a shape, which means it can be molded according to your body type, according to how your skeleton is. So my study has also been in variable anatomy, and through the last 5-6 years I've been teaching in so many different spaces, ages, genders, lines, everything, countries, and I feel that I've learned a lot through that, and also learned to invite more and more difference, provide more and more variations. I hope we can meet someday physically and do a class together, or just go for a cup of coffee. I'm totally talking to you, but there's so many beautiful creatures around me that I'm getting so distracted by the birds and the squirrels and the bees and all these things. So I mentioned the target area to be the glute, but I'll also mention the red flag area. It's the inner side of your knee. You should not feel it here. If you do, you need to change your variation to something else. Just about 15 more seconds to go. Okay. Exhale and slowly come out of it. And rest. The next shape that we will do, it's got a really funny name. It's called rolling panda. You can actually pause the video whenever you want and take a rest, have a sip of water. Now is also a good time to do that before we enter the next half. So for rolling panda, we'll start with this side. So I've come into a tabletop with my toes tucked in. I'm going to take my left arm and send that through. Right arm goes on top. You could stay here. if you've already achieved it, and what you've achieved is basically like a spinal stretch. So if you feel you've got it, you've already got it. If you want more, then lift your right knee off. If this is also too easy for you, you can send the right leg out and the right hand on your waist and look up. So there are 4 variations to it. You could be here, you could be here, you could be here, whichever works for you today. I think I'm going to do a mix of third and fourth. So I'm not going to kick my right leg out. I'm just going to be here. And I'm looking up at the leaves on top. Staying here for 2 minutes. Lateral of the spine is where you feel it quite a lot. The main thing is to stay, to persevere, to be patient, to find adjustments that work. So if your knee up is not working, bring it down. You could. And just be here. Make it easy. How can you make it easier in your life for you? Okay. Now, bring your right knee down if it's up. Place your right hand down. With the help of your right hand, come off. Bring your left hand back. And come to a seated position of your choice, whichever. Wow, parrots also came. After this, we'll do the left side and then we'll close with a spinal stretch. So today's class was about letting go and easing into it. Really use the rolling panda on the left to make it easier for yourself, to let go of your ambitions. Don't get caught in desires. Don't manifest the difficult things. Make it easy. You don't even have to choose. You just have to be. And yin is all about that. It's about yielding, allowing, being with yourself, accepting, really loving nature. Come, let's do the other side. So for that, now again in tabletop, I'm going to send my right arm through. Left arm forward or here, whichever is fine. I think I need to push back slightly. And then extend your left leg. And you can look up again, whichever works for you. I'm just staying here for 2 minutes. 50% of our flexibility actually comes from our colder tissues that we're working on now. And it's never spoken about. The muscles are all that are spoken about in today's trending times. So it's great that we're working on the invisible section. Super. And slowly bringing your left knee down and coming out of it. And come lying down on your tummy. The last shape we will do today is just a sphinx or a seal. So you can rest as you watch me. But for sphinx, I'm just going to be here. If I want to get into a stronger shape, I'm going to send my palms down and extend to look up. Whichever works. I'm just going to be in a sphinx because it's easier for me to do that. And as I'm here, I'm going to read some chapter from Tao Fu. So this has got a little bit of a humorous take. But this section is talking about cleverness and how cleverness is considered so important in today's time and age. But cleverness, after all, has its limitations because it doesn't look very deeply into things to begin with. The thing that makes someone truly different, unique in fact, is something that cleverness cannot really understand. When you know and respect your inner nature, you know where you belong. You also know where you don't belong. One man's food is often another man's poison. And what is glamorous and exciting to some can be a dangerous trap to others. And cleverness is such a trap that most people often fall in. I think it's gonna rain today. And just staying here for a minute more. Your target area is your lower back and you're probably feeling it there. If you want to experiment a bit, you can send your feet wider apart or closer together and see how that affects your lower back. You can send your neck down and up and see how that affects your lower back because everything is connected and wrapped in fascia, which is our connective tissue. So this is like a shorter session, but generally yin sessions can go on for even 3 hours. I've led workshops for 3.5 hours and people have fallen asleep, started snoring, really released and let go at the end of them. But it's okay to start small as well and see where that goes. There is a really beautiful bird in front of me. I wish I could show you. It's got a long tail. It's yellow in color with a black and white tail. Can you imagine that? And now slowly send your torso down and rest. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everything that I have, for all the beautiful people in my life. And with that thought, slowly coming up to close the practice. Okay, thank you for sharing this practice with me today. I hope you're feeling calmer. I hope you feel like you've released certain nervous system tensions and weights that you were carrying. And hopefully, I'll see you in the next version, the next episode. And have a really beautiful day. And pranam. Stay yin.